Hi guys, and welcome to the Time Zone Junkies. I am Malin, and behind the camera is my husband Alex. Today we are in Tashkent, the capital of Uzbekistan.
You might be wondering why Malin's voice is so croaky. Well, she's actually been sick for the last 6 days, and on her first day arriving in Tashkent from India, she got a really high fever. Here she is. How are you feeling, Malin?
Our last day in India, I started feeling a little bit under the weather. And just a couple of days before that, we were on a bus going to the Wagah border to watch the show there. And I sat next to a lady, and she seemed quite unwell. And I said to Alex, I bet I'll get something from her. And I did.
Oh, yes, you did.
At first, I thought it was heat exhaustion because the only sign I had was a high fever and aching muscle and a headache. But now I've got a full blown out cold. God, universe, whomever I want to thank or should thank. He was really high before. Anyways, we are wasting our first week of our 30-day visa exemption in Uzbekistan, thanks to me. Feel sorry for me.
Today is actually our last day in Tashkent because we're getting a night train later today to another city. So we felt like we had to get out and explore and see what the city has to offer, because Malin has seen absolutely nothing so far. I've only seen a few things, so I've been on some errands, but we're looking forward to see what the city's got to offer. Before we get to our first spot, we just want to give you some facts about why this city is so clean, so modern, has such wide roads, and why there are so many green places.
Back in 1966, there was a big earthquake and a large part of this city got destroyed, in particular the old city. So they invited a lot of architects from the Soviet Union and they came and rebuilt the city, hence the style of the city. We are currently outside Hotel Uzbekistan, and that's actually one of the landmarks here. It's been hosting guests for over 30 years, I think, and the reason many people come to check this hotel out from the outside, like we are, is because of its very interesting architecture.
Not only did they rebuild the city centre, they also created the metro system here in Tashkent, which is supposed to be absolutely beautiful, and it's similar to those of Moscow and St. Petersburg, and each station is uniquely designed.
Guys, we're down in the metro, and before getting on it, I want to give you some information about how ridiculously cheap it is to travel on this metro system. It costs only 1,200 Uzbek song, which is about $14 per person, and you can travel as many stations as you like. So let's go over there and buy some tickets. So you get these little, what would you call them, Alex?
Tokens?
Tokens, and you just head over to the barriers, put them in, and you're through.
I've actually been down to quite a few of the metro stations now because I had some errands to run while Malin was sick, but this is by far the most beautiful one, and we certainly don't have anything like this in the subway in the UK, especially in London. It's nothing like this. It's incredible.
Just said about that station we were at, I'll say about this station that we are now, it's absolutely gorgeous, okay? There are no crystals hanging down from the ceiling, but it's majestic. It's so beautiful. Guys, we have left the metro and we have arrived to our next stop on this little Tashkent tour, and we're going to have some food before we actually head over there. But I also want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit about how it was arriving here in Uzbekistan. For the first time this year, since February, people from the European Union and some other countries can now come here without a visa, and that was actually not the case before. And it actually used to be quite complicated. It's not the first time that Alex and I are in Central Asia. Previously we have visited Kyrgyzstan because you don't need a visa, you get 2 months, and Kazakhstan, we got 1 month visa free in Kazakhstan. Now we also get it here, and that's why we choose to come here after India. We had read all these nightmare blogs and discussions in forums how difficult it is to arrive here, that they will check your computer, you have to like hide all political religious stuff like in secret folders on your computer, or you just don't take it with you. We arrived in Tashkent at the airport, were stamped through matter of seconds. We didn't have to scan our bags or anything. It was the easiest border in our lives, I think. Now, we don't know how it's going to be when we leave Uzbekistan, crossing the land border, but apparently the president, the new president in this country, is focusing a lot on opening up for tourism, and they're telling the military and the police to hassle tourists less. And now to the food. We have come to this little restaurant. It looked like they had many things on the menu, but apparently today they only have plov. It's a rice dish with some vegetables, quite a lot of oil, and here a lot of meat. Because in Central Asia they like their meat, and this is quite interesting for us because we've now been vegetarians, well, by choice, for 2 months in India because we were just too scared to eat the meat. And here you can't avoid it. It's like impossible. So let's give it a try. Flavors are good. Rice is a bit undercooked. Do you want to try it, Alex?
Rice is undercooked. Don Spenceroni, try the food. Let's have a look. It's nice. You have these little hold on, let me grab some. These little berries, probably can't see it, it's not in focus, but they're really sweet, delicious.
What about the rice?
Maybe a tiny bit, but it gives a bit of a crunch, so it's alright. Nice. Oh, and another thing you get in Central Asia a lot is this salad with onion. Sometimes it has pepper like this one, cucumber and tomato, and it's really simple, but sorry, but it's so good. Oh, I know. It's something important to mention that in Central Asia, especially here in Uzbekistan, apparently most of the produce like meats and vegetables, fruit is organic. It's not certified organic, but they don't need to use pesticides and stuff. It just tastes so good. We've come to a place called Chozu Bazaar, which is this really nice dome-shaped bazaar. It's about 350 meter diameter. We'll show you that in a second because it is really impressive. You can buy everything at this market. I've already bought a pair of socks, 2 pairs of socks.
Apparently it used to be an open market, but during the Soviet Union era they apparently put a roof on top of it, like a dome-like thing. I see if I can get a shot of that later. I can't do it from this angle though, but I will try for you guys.
It's really impressive walking around this market. It's just huge. There's so much fruit and veg. It's incredible. It goes on for many hundred meters. There must be thousands of stalls. Lots of lovely local fresh produce. Want to eat it all.
Now we can't stay here for too long though, because as Alex mentioned in the beginning of this vlog, we are actually catching a train tonight and we don't have that many hours, so we need to move on to our next spot of interest.
Yes, there are actually some old madrasas here, really old buildings, and that is where we're going to go now. So here in Central Asia you'll find these things which are called samosas, and maybe they originally come from the word samosa in India. In the UK we have lots of pies, never as good as this one. This one's potato, often it will come with beef and onion, maybe potato, and then you can get pumpkin one sometimes. But how much do you think this costs, guys? It costs 1,000 som, which is like 10 pence in pounds, or like 12 cents euro, or 15 cents dollars. It's just so cheap. It's like free. And it's good. It's good. Crunchy, doughy. Potato is nice and mushy.
What can you compare it to?
A pie in the UK.
Guys, we arrived at our next point of interest. It's Madrasi Kukurdash. I am not sure how to pronounce this word. I'm not good at Uzbek language. I'm not good at Russian language. I don't know in which language this is actually. Probably in the Turk language. It looks really gorgeous though, doesn't it? We're gonna have a look from the outside and then we're gonna head inside.
Kukurdash Madrasa. It's a medieval kind of madrasa, and it was actually an Islamic school and also caravanserai, where people used to stay on the Silk Road when it was running. And apparently there was a big earthquake and a lot of it got destroyed, but it was rebuilt in the 20th century and really nicely done as well. If you want to go inside, it costs about 5,000 som, which is about 60 US cents, so it's pretty cheap, and that's exactly what we're going to do now.
So we have to correct the price. It's not 5,000 som anymore, it's actually 10,000 som per person, and that is
$1.20 each, so it's still really cheap.
So Alex just went up these steps and I stayed down to take some photos, and now I can't find him. So I had to get out myself and see where he is. There he is, behind me. What was up there?
I'm not sure, I'll go up here, let's have a look.
Okay, let's go up this way instead. You know how we said earlier that it used to be an Islamic school? It might actually still be in a way, because there are classrooms here and there are actually students in there.
I'm not sure what they're studying, and we're not going to go in and ask, but what an amazing place to study. Really, really quiet in here, really calm. Lots of trees and grass. Yeah, it's really nice in here.
Another thing that I would like to mention about our arrival here in Tashkent is the fact that you have to register as a tourist when you're here. Now, there is a new system of doing this. Before, you needed to stay in a hotel every night or every 3 nights and you get a registration slip. You still do that. Actually, the hotels, they do that for free for you. But if you are an independent tourist like Alex and I are, and we couch surf, we camp, etc., then that's not really convenient. So there is a new system. There is an app. It's called Imam or Imam, I'm not exactly sure. I will write it in the text box here, and you can register there. But you need an Uzbeki phone number, and you also need to pay with an Uzbeki card, and that card has to be connected to a phone number. And Uzbekistan is a cash society. People don't really use cards here. Our couchsurfing host tried to help us, but it didn't really work out. We contacted a guy whom we had read about online, who has helped a lot of tourists here in the past with this new system that started in I think July last year. And he tried to get a hotel to do it for us. They only did it for 2 nights. So it's a bit tricky. Now, the night train that we're taking tonight apparently counts as a registration, so we're fine so far. But we're meeting up with this other guy at our next destination, because that is where he lives, and he's gonna help us register for the whole month that we're here. Guys, we're gonna get in a, what's it called?
Yandex Taxi.
It's like Uber, like Ola, like Grab, any of those application for taxis that you can now use all over the world, and they're super cheap here. So we're gonna get in one. We're gonna pay about
I think it's just 60 cents maybe, dollars.
For 2.5 kilometers.
I'm not sure the total distance, but it's so cheap.
Anyway, it's gonna take us to our next and most likely last spot today.
Here at Time Zone Junkies, we don't pretend to be history buffs because we're just not that good at history. Unless it's about Spanish history. I'm quite good at Spanish history. Anyway, the history here about this place. This is Hazrat Imam Madrasi. I think I got that right. And apparently, it's got the oldest Quran in the world stored inside. Now that is actually pretty cool. And one more claim to fame, it apparently has a hair from a Prophet Muhammad. Isn't that amazing? What are the chances? So yeah, we're not actually going to go inside because we already paid in the last place, and we are going to walk around a little bit, have a look, because in the upcoming videos in other places there are going to be lots of these types of buildings, and I think much more impressive. I mean, these are pretty cool, but imagine more impressive than this. You guys want to see that, right? So in the end, we came into Hazrat Imam Madrasi. It doesn't seem like you have to pay. There is a donation box over there, but inside it's really beautiful. Probably the nicest one of the ones we've seen here anyway in, where are we? Tashkent. Right? The columns, the wooden columns and the woodwork on the top. I mean, it's just so intricately carved. It's really, really beautiful. This is, yeah, really amazing, really amazing. So if you're in Tashkent, it's definitely worth a trip out here. Really beautiful. So we've actually come into the place where the oldest Quran in the world is stored. Unfortunately, I couldn't see it. I guess it's probably a better idea not to just leave it hanging around for some random tourists to come and have a look at without it being checked by security or anything. But inside there where they pray is really, really beautiful. Nice place. I think we're going to end the video, right, Malin? Shall we end it here? What do you say?
Here I am.
Here she is.
Yeah, let's end the video here. You know what to do, right, guys? If you have liked it, you give it a thumbs up. You subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You leave a comment below. Yeah, and the notification bell button next to the subscribe button is super important, because if you really want to follow our journey around the world, you need to press that, because you might miss out on our videos otherwise. It's a notification bell button. It says it all, doesn't it? And what else do we do?
We have a little Patreon page where you can go and donate a monthly amount. It can be $2, $5, $10, whatever you want, and you will get something back in return.
So I know we have explained this many times. It's very difficult to earn any money on YouTube. How much are we earning on YouTube at the moment?
$25 a month. Oh yes.
If it is a good month. And we don't really have many good months. So the algorithm on YouTube is not as it used to be. It's much more difficult to earn money on YouTube now. So as a YouTube creator, we're now dependent on our viewers and not on the advertisers. So if you would like to support us, if you like us, if you want to see more of us, if you want to facilitate our life a little bit, so we don't have to teach and work as many hours outside of making the videos, then head over to our Patreon page and become patrons and support us for a longer time. That would be awesome. Or you can help us by putting some money into our PayPal account. That is also very appreciated. And that's it for us, guys. I am pooped.
She's had a rough day. It's been tough.
Yes.
But we are so excited for some of the places that we're going to go and visit in Uzbekistan after Tashkent. We're really excited, and to take you guys along with us, it's going to be great. You guys are going to love it.
Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Let's try again. Boom.
Indoors or inside, or whatever you want to say.
And also caravanserai, I'm not sure how to say that either, in Hazrat Madrasi. Hazrat Imam Madrasi, I don't know what it's called exactly.